What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today I'm going to show you guys how to paint a concrete floor. In particular, today we're painting a garage floor. So we're going to transform it from this into this. Let's do this. Alright guys, so the first thing we need to do is clean this floor here up. Now what we're going to do is take a scraper and we're going to remove any high spots. You can see here we've got some adhesive and also some joint compound. So go around, scrape all those high spots off. If you've got any low spots, you can also fill those in. We're going to quickly sweep all of this out of the garage floor and then we're going to vacuum it all up. So just quickly scrape any high spots. You can see here we've got some paint. Make sure everything's nice and flush. Alright guys, so now that we've got the floors reasonably clean, we need to also wash these floors down. Now before I wash these floors down, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to be etching this concrete. The reason why I etch the concrete is to make it a bit more rough, almost at about 180 grit sandpaper. That's the kind of feel we're going to get. That's going to allow our paint to adhere a lot better to the concrete surface. So if you have a look here, the concrete's very, very smooth in this garage, and that's the reason we want to etch it. Now, usually you can use hydrochloric acid, also known as muriatic acid. However, if you have used that in the past, I'm sure you'll know the smell is absolutely horrible. It's a very, very strong chemical, and what I opt to use is something that's a little bit more environmentally friendly, which is this one right here, White Knight's Ultra Pave concrete etcher. So this one here is a lot safer to use. And what we're going to be doing is basically using this to etch our concrete. So we want to have a nice rough concrete here to make sure everything adheres properly. This is very easy to use. 1 kilo here, which is the whole container, will do 10 liters of water. So what we're going to be doing is making 10 liters of etching compound using this whole section here. So what we need is a bucket. We've got 10 liters of water in there, and what we're going to do is basically pour the granules straight into the bucket, just some clean water in there, and we're going to mix it around with a little stirring stick or anything that you've got laying around. So that's the reason why I've got this little stick here. So we'll mix that initially in the bucket, make sure the granules completely dissolve, then we'll switch it over to a watering can. Just apply it evenly around on the concrete and you'll instantly see that start to foam and bubble up. At that point, we're going to take our broom and we're going to start to scrub this concrete floor. Make sure the etching compound gets all into that concrete and just let it sit there for probably about 1.5 to 2 minutes until the bubbling stops basically. At that point, we're going to take a garden hose and we're just going to wash all this etching compound straight out of this concrete area. So let's get straight into it, guys, and we'll get started on our etching process. So we'll take our etching compound. You can see it just looks like white sand inside. We're just going to apply that to the 10 liters of water. And then we're going to stir that until it completely dissolves. Shouldn't take too long. And I can feel those granules basically disappeared already. So now this is completely dissolved, we can transfer the water from the bucket over into our watering can. So I'll show you guys quickly a little test area before I go through and do the whole area here. So we just want to spray that on. We take our brush and then we can work that into the concrete. So the concrete's had about 24 to 48 hours worth of dry time. You need to make sure that your concrete is nice and dry. There's no moisture left inside it before you start painting. So an easy way to check for moisture is by doing a moisture test. So the way we do a moisture test is by taking a piece of plastic, as I've got here, put some tape on it, and we're going to tape that down to the concrete floor. Now what that does is we'll let this one here sit for about 2 to 3 hours. We'll come back and check it, and we'll make sure that there's no moisture being built up on that tape itself. So if there is any moisture in the concrete, it's going to try and escape over the next couple of hours, and you'll see a bit of beading or a bit of water moisture on top of that plastic or underneath the plastic. So we can come back after a few hours, peel off the tape, and check for any moisture underneath the plastic. If it's nice and dry, then we're ready to start painting. If you find there's a little bit of moisture being built up on the plastic, give it a couple more hours of dry time and repeat the test. So now we're finally ready to start painting. What we're going to be using is White Knight's Ultra Pave. There's a lot of different concrete paints out there. The vast majority of them are actually pretty good because they're designed for concrete, they're designed to be durable. Most of them do an exceptional job. This one here, the reason why I've chosen it is number one, it's a lot cheaper. Number two, this one here in particular is a water-based product. So that means our dry time is going to be a lot shorter, about 2 hours in between coats. And this one here is also suitable for garage floors. Now, if you did want to drive onto this garage floor, which we won't be in this case, you can put a separate primer on the floor before applying this product. If you don't plan on having any kind of car traffic or anything like that going onto the concrete surface, then this one here is sufficient to put straight onto the concrete. And the reason for that is it's a self-priming paint. So it's got a primer built in to the paint, ready to go. We don't have to put a separate primer unless you plan on driving on it. So this one here, like I said, water-based, designed for concrete and pavers, and it's tintable. So perfect, I've already tinted my color. We've got here this one in Storm Grey, Smoke Storm, sorry. So this one here's been tinted in Smoke Storm. We're going to start off as we would with any other painting project, cut around the edges with a brush, and then we're going to roll everything in. So first coat is now complete. We'll give it another hour or two, let it dry off. First coat's looking pretty good so far. However, the second coat should give us a lot better coverage and make it stand out a lot better. And once the second coat's all done and dry, this is the finished product, guys. So a really nice result, super fast, 2 hour dry time in between coats. The actual product itself costs about $80, so it's an awesome little finish to help rejuvenate your garage or concrete floor. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. As always, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.